All right, everybody. Welcome back to Simply Bitcoin, the channel that breaks down all the daily Bitcoin news from Twitter to the cringy daily fails to the meme reviews, software subscriptions. We've got it all. Drop us a like and subscribe. All right, let's kick it off with Clark Moody dashboard. We are looking at a block height of 653,615, price of 11,950, chain rewrite days 529, and the total lightning capacity 1,054.45 BTC.
Woo.
All right, we're hanging in there.
We're hanging in, but can't use Satoshi. Phil, it's time for
the daily fail. A short story of I like Bitcoin, buy my shitcoin. And this is Eric Voorhees, who was once upon a time, a big Bitcoin proponent, and he's still, on his profile, still says Bitcoin. He's in Bitcoin land. But then he's retweeting this garbage for Filecoin, which, let's take a look at the move on this. Okay. So there you go, right? He retweets it, and a couple of days later, there you go. There goes your investment, 75% loss in less than.
And so, he got rich. He got rich, Phil.
Oh yeah, no, he absolutely. He was part of this. So this is just, honestly, it's so cringe. And this is what we always say. You gotta, unfortunately, you gotta be vigilant, and you gotta watch out for the, I like buy my shitcoin people.
I absolutely agree.
That's the lesson.
I got one lesson, Phil. And the lesson is follow Coin Icarus on Twitter if you want original pleb content. Whoop, whoop. All right, Phil, it's time for
the daily meme review.
All right. Okay, so I've never seen this meme before, Phil. It's called The Journey of Stacking Sats. Let's check it out. Okay. All right. Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. Should I go first, or do you want to go first, Phil?
It's a good start. Hold on.
All right. I'll start it off while you think. 8.7 for me, Phil.
Okay. I'm going with 8.5.
Okay. So I think we're thinking the same thing, which is the messaging is great. The music started off good, but then it got annoying. But the messaging was really good. The Mount Gox, all Roger Ver,
Yeah.
Craig Wright was in here, so it was very clever. It was very well done, but it was a little bit too long for my taste. Right? I felt like it was a little overextended, and it didn't make me laugh.
So for me, yeah, exactly. It was slightly too long. I think it's like it's like you're having fun, and then all of a sudden, now you're not. Now you're just like unfortunately waiting for it to end. But like but otherwise it's the messaging was perfect. I loved the way it kicked in at the beginning. It starts off like it's just perfect. It's like it's a perfect build up, right? That was like a perfect progression. And I feel like if it would have just stopped at that point, but the problem is that like, you're also trying to tell the whole story. So anyways, still totally awesome score.
It was great, and it was great production, man.
That
must have been a lot of work, but
yeah, definitely.
Just a little bit of tinkering, and it would have been great. It would have been a 9 from me. Phil, it's time for
the Daily News, sponsored by Crypto Cloaks.
All right, so the news for today, everybody, is FinSec. I'm assuming this is some branch of the U.S. government that deals with the financial crimes and all that stuff. Don't butcher me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. They fined Bitcoin mixing CEO $60 million. I hope he has a lot of Bitcoin. Landmark crackdown on Helix and CoinNinja. I've never heard of these services. They sound centralized, though. Larry Dean Harmon, the Helix and CoinNinja crypto tumbling chief, who in February was arrested for allegedly mixing Bitcoin for criminals, must pay $60 million in civil penalties. Prosecutors at the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, I was right, demanded Monday. So, guys, this is more of what we've been saying. The government is cracking down on these things, so the best advice that I can give to you, right, is just take your coins off exchange and, CoinJoin, guys. CoinJoin, and just keep your coins on cold storage. Don't use any of those centralized mixing services, because you're just putting yourself at risk. What do you think, Phil?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I know, right now Join Market is, I'm hearing some good things about it. That's definitely something to check out. The reality is, though, is that for the most part, right, if you're not too tech savvy, these services are a little bit, seemingly daunting. So at the very least, keep your stuff off exchanges and, keep it in keep it in a hardware wallet and make sure you know where your private keys are and everything like that. But like guys like this are just, look, it's like you said, I've never heard of those services either. I think that they were centralized. I don't know much about them, but you're taking a risk if you're doing this, especially if you're doing this for other people, because you don't know what that money was used for. And of course, right, like you have no idea what the previous Bitcoin that you are receiving was used for. But if you're intentionally doing it, then you're bringing the light on you. So
exactly,
we'll see what turns out in that case.
Exactly right, Phil. It's counterproductive. Exactly what you said, right? It's like you think you're mixing, but you're actually putting a limelight on yourself.
Yeah.
And let's move on to the next piece of news, and it's building on yesterday's news. I think I covered it a little bit, but man, you're seeing all these central banks, including the Fed, which is the bank of central banks, right? Is open to private sector collaboration in possible digital dollar. I covered this topic, deeply yesterday, but, these banks, they just want to be able to infuse money directly into the population as a way of being able to tax more efficiently. It will not be as uncensorable. It will not be as what's the word? What's the correct word for this? Inclusion. It won't include
inclusive.
Inclusive.
You can use inclusive.
Thanks, Phil. It won't be as inclusive as Bitcoin. You will have to use KYC just to be able to use it. Okay, so it's not going to be as awesome, but I know that a lot of people are going to fall for it. Now, the question is this good for Bitcoin? Absolutely, because it's going to show people the reality of the situation. It's going to expose people to how open and seamless Bitcoin is. Remember, all you need to do to use Bitcoin is just You know, you could just download Bitcoin Core on your computer. Now you're verifying transactions. You're running a node. And you could just download an app on your phone and you can have a wallet right then and there. These digital currencies will not allow you to do that without extensive KYC. You could take that to the bank and they will not allow you for large amounts to send money overseas, okay? So because governments at the end of the day, they want control. And Phil, what's your perspective on all this?
So I think that, to your point, broadly, this is good for Bitcoin. Broadly, this is good for Bitcoin, and they're actually doing kind of a lot of us a favor because it's going to get people really familiar with cryptocurrency, and as a result, Bitcoin becomes less mysterious, and when it becomes less mysterious, people get it faster, you know? And okay, bring it on. I think at the end of the day, all this is going to do is help people figure out what the real deal is.
Absolutely.
You know, they might be fooled for a time. It's okay. Everybody gets fooled sometimes.
Exactly right. Phil, it's time for, it's not time for anything. Software releases.
Okay, so Tails OS version 4.12 was released. In it, they've got Tor version 10.0.2. They've got, It's built on Linux version 5.8, and we've got that link in the show notes.
Thanks, Phil. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I was a little tired today. I apologize. It won't be like that tomorrow. Make sure to tune in tomorrow to more Simply Bitcoin and no shitcoinery.